Sometimes when I get to doing these shows, I'm always trying to think of something that is so freaking funny or amusing that I just can't seem to come up with anything today. But what I will say is this. This is Women's HERstory Month. We're in the middle of our series. I am Willie Epting Jr. We've got some amazing ladies backstage that I'm going to bring in here in just a moment. We are continuing the celebration and the uplifting of women all over the country, all over the world. Wherever there is a woman, we want them to be touched emotionally and spiritually by what is going on in these shows. And as I have told the ladies backstage, I cried on the last show, or I did kind of cry, but not real like heavy tears. I cried on the show last year, and I gave them the okay. They had the full legal authority that if they make me cry, it is completely and totally okay. So I'm not even tripping. So with that being said, I think we should just go ahead and get this show started. We've got Tasha, we've got Jen, we've got Kim, we've got Omega, and they are all sisters of mine. And if you have anything to say about them, come see me. That's just what it is. And we're going to go ahead and get this thing kicked off, y'all. Let's go. Well, here we are in the merry, merry month of March, middle of the month almost. And we're rolling right along with our series of shows for celebrating women's HERstory. Let's go ahead and bring in the sissies. I'm going to see if I can bring them all in at one time, but it's really impossible because I only got one hand and only one mouse. But I almost did it. Tasha, Jen, Omega, Kimberly, what's going on?
What's up?
What's up? Well, again, I want to thank you guys, you ladies out there, for checking us out, or I'm sorry, for taking time out of your busy schedule to do this. That part is coming up in just a second. I'm so very appreciative of the value that you guys bring to what we're trying to get done here at the Shakeback Media Group. And we're going to get to your stories as somebody just decided they didn't want to be here anymore. Who was that? That was
Kimberly may have lost connection.
That was Kimberly. She's decided that I'm done. I don't want to do the show. But she'll be back in a second, I'm sure. So we're going to get started here in just a moment. We're going to get your stories and your encouragement and all those things that make women such great beings. But before we do that, we got to say this to everybody out there that's checking us out on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook again, and of course, Twitter. 13,000 followers for the Shakeback Media Group. We so thank you guys out there for supporting what we're doing here at the SBMG. Make sure you guys get out there and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're trying to get to 1,000 so we can try to make some money and give back to the world. So hit that subscribe button on YouTube, smash the bell. All new content will be given to you as soon as it is unleashed. All right, ladies, I got some questions. But before we get to that, though, I want each one of you guys to give us a fun fact that little to nobody knows about you. Let's start with Tasha.
Say a fact about me that people probably don't really know is that I used to be a little league cheerleading coach.
I don't know if that really surprises me.
You didn't say surprise.
Yeah,
You
that's
said
right.
little people know.
Oh, okay. That is very true. Thank you for paying attention completely to the question, because that is how I get people when I'm debating other people on these shows. Okay, so even though I wasn't surprised by that. I mean, I'm one of those little people that didn't know that. So here we go. All right, Jen, co-founder of Three Chicks in a Pod and salsa. I left off the salsa part on the intro, but give us a fun fact that little to no people know about you.
I'm debating between two, but I'm going to go with this. As extroverted as I am, and I never knew this until last year. I'm actually, one of my friends was like, no, you're actually shy. And I was like, me? But then I started like paying attention to when I was interviewing people, and I was like, man, he's a little right there. But I try to overcome it because I'm so extroverted and just stuff flies out of my mouth. So.
Well, the stuff that flies out of your mouth today, let's hope that
it'll make sense.
Yeah, let's hope it's in context and not out of context. All right, Kim. Let's see, Kimberly, Kim, KPP. Give us a fun fact about KPP that little to no people. Did I say that right? Little people, not little people. Y'all know what I'm trying to say.
No little people, no. So I mean, this isn't like a best kept secret about me. I'm pretty much an open book about a lot of things, but I didn't do a whole lot of like marketing or anything because it was more of a project for me. But in 2020, I recorded an album of original songs in my closet and released it to streaming services. So that was just a bucket list item, and I did the thing.
That's cool.
Yeah, and not only that, the album is slamming. It's dope for real. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's dope. All right, Omega Monroe is in the building.
Okay, I guess I'm from Monroe, so most people from Monroe may know this, but I know a lot of people here in Texas don't. But my full name is Brenda Josh Omega James Morgan.
I did not know that.
I know. See, a lot of people don't know my full name. Most people here just call me Omega. A lot of people in Monroe, they'll call me Brenda, but nobody knows it's Brenda Josh Omega James Morgan.
I know about the Brenda part, but I just thought that was like a secret alias.
Wait a minute.
No, that's my name.
You messed up my count. Hold on. Is that 5? Is that 6 names?
It's 5.
It's 5 names. Okay.
Yeah. But they just call me Omega Morgan, and that's it.
Yeah. I'm gonna call you.
One of my favorite people, Omega, shares your name. I call him the King of Petty, though. But he loves when I call him the King of Petty. Yeah.
Well, that's all great, and I as the person that is behind this microphone and really just gas bagging his way through this whole thing called life. A fun fact about me is I am addicted to freeway signs.
Okay.
Yeah. Elaborate.
You can ask the questions if you want. Okay. I don't know where it came from. But it started out when we lived in California. I could tell you that much. And how the Bay Area is a little different than Monroe, Louisiana in terms of a lot of different things.
Okay.
So, and I also have a fixation. No, not a fixation. I'm an undercover architect in my own mind because I love the way that they build buildings and these freeways. I mean, I'm just like, and my wife looks at me and says, "Oh my gosh, you are such a nerd." And you know what? You either love me or hate me. That's what it is. So that's one of my fun facts that don't too many people know about me, other than family. I mean, they know it, but not anybody else. All right, let's get to this because we are already running down on time. That little part in itself took 10 minutes. So forgive me for that. All right, let's get on with this because this is important. And I'm thinking that you guys are going to encourage one another. I know that you're going to encourage me. And the goal here is to not only encourage everybody on the panel, but everybody that's watching around the world, like The Rock said, and the millions and millions of Rock fans. So who's up in the upper left-hand corner? That would be Tasha. The first question for you, ma'am, is, are you ready? Shake your head like this. Everybody shake the head like this. That's what my drill sergeant used to make us do whenever whether we agree with something or not. All right. So what strategies do you use to manage stress and maintain a healthy work-life balance in today's society or fast-paced society? Oh, we can't hear her. Yeah, we can't hear you.
Check your headphones or mic to make sure it's plugged in.
Yeah. While you do that, Jen, take that question.
Okay.
I'll ask it again. What strategies do you use to manage stress and maintain a healthy work-life balance in today's fast-paced society?
Honestly, my strategy is to do podcasts and to follow sports just because sports has been a part of my life just always.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was 2 and catching a football and still in the club, you know. I was running marathons like in 6th grade, and by the time I was 6, I was a competitive swimmer. My first NFL game, I think you know this, Willie, was watching, was in 96 at then Erickson Stadium, watching the Dolphins play the Panthers and watching Dan Marino. Like he was the first elite quarterback I ever saw. Sports has always been in my life. So like, honestly, talking about sports as an adult is just my stress relief. It's fun.
Yes, until it's not. Unless you're a fan of a team that will not be named at this point in time.
The Carolina Panthers?
No, not the Carolina Panthers, but another team that will remain nameless at this point in time. And I get where you're coming from, because for that, or for me, it kind of works in conjunction with that. So I feel you there. Okay, Tasha, are you ready? She's still not ready. We still can't hear you. Let's see if you can hear me. Go out of the studio and then come back. Okay, if you can hear you, if you can hear. Okay, go out of the studio and come back in, and we'll see how that works. All right, Kimberly.
Hello.
All right, so same question. What strategies do you use to manage stress and maintain a healthy work-life balance in today's fast-paced society?
Yeah, so I'm blessed to work from home, which helps a lot in terms of being able to sort of like step away and do what I need to do around the house to sort of not have to have all this stuff I need to catch up on later on, but that can also come with its own stressors when home and work are in the same place. Mm-hmm. So I think I've just learned to remind myself that I can't do all the things and to set that same expectation for those around me as well. And I get overstimulated easily. So I really just have to step back and let friends and family know, like, hey, I need to decompress. Because if I don't do that, it's bad news for everybody. So, and so that allows me to focus on the things that I love to do, which is my hobbies are ever changing, but reading and writing, I like doing crafts. I got really into customizing dolls in the past year. So like, I just step away and do the thing that I need to do, and then remind myself, when to turn off and when to turn on.
Very good. Yeah, that doll thing, I'm thinking about taking that up myself. No, I'm just joking.
I mean, I can show you some tricks.
Well, when we talked on the last show, you talked about that, and I was like,
yeah.
All right, Omega, let's hear it.
The same question?
The same question.
Well, I'm kind of like Kimberly. I just try to lean more towards what I like to do, and that helps me. And then as far as like my work-life balance, I just handle what I can handle in that day, and what I can't, I'll do it tomorrow. Like, I don't stress about like getting everything done. I just take it piece by piece and day by day. So that's about it.
What's the best way to eat an elephant?
I don't know.
One bite at a time.
Okay.
Think about it. If you think about it like that, everything that you just said falls right in line with eating an elephant one bite at a time. Now, elephant really ain't on a lot of humans' menus that I know of.
Not at all.
Let's substitute your favorite food in that spot where the elephant is, and then you eat it one bite at a time. All right, Tasha.
You're right.
Say something, Tasha. Say something. We still can't hear her. It's something up with her settings. Because
we heard it at first. Yeah.
I don't know what it could be. Maybe, are you on your computer or are you on your phone? Computer.
Yeah.
Why don't you try unplugging it?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you now.
There you go.
Well, no, because it's probably gonna keep going in and out. So try unplugging the thing from the and then speak. That made it worse.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
Wait a minute, she's muted. Okay, now.
Can you hear me now?
That's better. Yeah.
Okay, so it's probably my Five Below headphones. And that's okay.
Yeah. Okay, so now you can answer the question that was initially asked to you. I'll read it again. What strategies do you use to manage stress and maintain a healthy work-life balance in today's fast-paced society?
Okay, so strategies that I use is I'm a big calendar person. I am managing the schedules of 4. And so what really helps me is I put everything in my calendar, and then I just kind of try to like schedule out my time. So like my husband travels, so I have his work calendar in my phone. I have my personal calendar, my kids' calendar. So that really helps me. And I schedule everything. I schedule when I get my hair done, my nails done, everything for my kids. And so that really helps me kind of maintain a balance, because I kind of plan everything out and I know what's happening when. See something pop up in my schedule that was not there, and you will see me like, I need a moment to gather myself. But a calendaring really helps me a lot.
Yeah, I understand that. And as a business owner, and a full-time freaking employee, that part of it, I hate, but I understand it is what it is at this point in time. I have had to learn how to live by calendar. Number one, there's too many things that's going on in the universe at one time, right? And then number two, my mind just ain't what it once was, and I can't remember stuff like I used to. So, all right, let's keep on keeping on. Looking back over the past few years, ladies, and the precedents that have been set by women. I need somebody to mute their mic. Looking back over the past few years and the precedents that women have set, which stands out to you the most? And when you think about it, you think about Kamala Harris, you think about Ketanji Jackson Brown or Brown Jackson, KJB. So yeah, then you think about there's Caitlin Clark in women's college basketball. She just became the all-time leading scorer in college basketball history. Now, I said college basketball history, not women's basketball history. So she's the greatest scorer of all time in college basketball. She went head-to-head against Steph Curry in the three-point contest. Not saying that you guys have to select one of those ladies, LaTasha, but which lady has that for you?
So a lady that is standing out to me right now is Tabitha Brown. And she stands out to me right now in these times because I feel like she is. So I turned 40 this year, and I am finding myself like, I don't know, I'm in a new era. Like, I'm more comfortable in who I am, but I'm learning to like fully walk in that. And so I like admire Tabitha Brown because I feel like she is who she is unapologetically. So like how she loves her husband, how she handles her businesses, how she speaks, what she believes. And so for me, I like looking at people who may not be gleaming in a lot of headlights, but she's like moving and shaking in her own lane by being her authentic self. And so that's the path and journey that I'm on. So she's the person that stands out to me.
Authenticity is one of my favorite words, and it's not just because I learned how to pronounce it like 2 weeks ago. All right. All right. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. Y'all are confusing me because the screen is off. Okay. Omega, come on with that same question. If you want me to, I'll ask it again as well. Looking back over the past few years and the precedents that women have set, which one stands out to you the most?
I'm sorry, y'all didn't hear me. Okay, so I'm agreeing with Tasha. I was going to say Tabitha, and then some of the women you named too. But what stands out about all of them is that they didn't give up. Like, they kept going until they got to exactly where it is that they were trying to get to. So for me, that's motivation. Like, all you got to do is keep going and don't give up. And you'll eventually reach the point to where you're trying to get to.
Yes, and greatness doesn't happen overnight, as we know. People don't ball into balling. You gotta pay some dues. Shout out to the big homie Richie Rich for that little comment right there. All right, Jen, which woman or which precedent or what have you stands out to you the most? I think she's muted, y'all. She's muted too. Mute, unmute.
Sorry, I realized it after I started speaking. Sorry about that. Mine's more localized. Like, honestly, I really admire my co-host. We've been through so much. We've all been through a lot. And one of my co-hosts just got a really cool job in sports, and we're just, the admiration's just there. It's real. I know it should be probably on a bigger scale, but to me, the small steps make the big jumps. Like Christina Pink, I love her. She was one of my favorite interviews I was able to make last year. And she had to start kind of small too. And I just love it. And I love it for my colleagues. If I could speak, that'd be fantastic. So,
yeah. And that's the thing, the question is personal. And it doesn't matter who may or may not perceive it to be big as another person's. That ain't what this is about. I mean, it's just what it is. So great job. And that actually in itself is kicking the devil in the teeth, because so many people are expecting, or they perceive that somebody should say one thing when they have no idea themselves what the heck is going on. So kudos to you for that.
Thank you.
Kimberly sleep. Oh no, she's awake. Okay.
Just taking a quick little power nap. No.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, so give us all
right, same question.
Yeah, same question.
Okay, so I sat down with this and I was trying to pick like one person. But I felt like it really came down to this kind of amazing overarching theme that women in general are just really standing their ground more and more. They're just unmovable, and they're really just they're over it. Right. They are ready to fight for what they believe in, and it's nothing new. I mean, you've got Angela Davis, you've got Eleanor Roosevelt, like these wonderful, powerful women who have becoming more common, and and more empowering, and it's allowing these younger generations to feel empowered too. So I don't know. So just real quick, and she's not really a primary example for me because I don't tend to idolize many politicians, but I just relate to her specifically for when. So it was back when Mitch McConnell was being. Huh?
Go ahead.
What?
Keep going. Keep going.
Oh, okay. It was back when Mitch McConnell was being real critical about Elizabeth Warren, about not being quiet during the Jeff Sessions confirmation. And he tried to be critical in saying, you know, nevertheless, she persisted, like she wouldn't be quiet. And it was supposed to be a criticism, but it really became this very powerful mantra for women of it's just like, yeah, she did, because she was fighting for what she believed in. And I loved it so much that I got it tattooed on me. So nevertheless, she persisted is just something that I really cling to because it can be very hard day to day to keep doing that. So I don't know. I just think there's so many examples anymore that we can look to.
That question or your response actually segues into the next question, because you guys are all, and by the way, everybody out there that's in the chat, and we're going to shout you guys out here in just a moment. You guys need to make sure you keep on bringing the funk in the chat, because what they're talking about is extraordinary. And I haven't even gotten to the part that makes us cry yet. So that answer in itself is extraordinary. And it leads me to this. And you, with you, of course, all of you being women, can you face, and let's go back to the northwest corner of the screen, which would be, of course, Tasha. Can you share, and I know you're in a leadership position in your earthly world, but can you share any personal experiences or challenges that you've had to face as a woman in leadership, and how have you navigated through those situations?
So for me, I would say my biggest challenge is balancing my dominance. So I am naturally just like a big personality. I am very strong-minded, very strong-willed. Like my voice is strong. And so I've had to learn like when to use it and when not. I believe at first I just really took a lot of stuff as like, well, I'm just a strong woman, so that's just what I am. So that's just what it's going to be. But I have to realize like everyone can't receive me like that. And so in the position that I am now, it's really had to teach me to be empathetic to people and women whose voice may not be as strong as mine. And so in what I do at work, I have to balance a lot of personalities. I'm balancing personalities of students and staff and parents. And so I have to know how to, for the lack of a better word, I have to know how to finesse each situation to meet that person where they are. And I can't take it as like, just because I'm direct or I'm strong, someone else may not be able to receive it that way. But as the leader, it's my job to adjust. It's not their job to adjust to me. But also that's when it's me over someone, but then also as someone who has a boss over me, I have to really sometimes learn to bite my tongue in the moment and then pick and choose when I address certain situations and how I choose it, and making sure that when I'm in those leadership roles that I'm appearing as a united front, but then in private, I let whatever concerns that I want to say. So I would just say learning how to balance being what my personality is and realizing like as the leader, it's my responsibility to change. It is not other people's responsibility to conform to me, because that mantle has been placed on me, not them.
It actually falls in line with the woman that you said stood out to you as far as precedents go. It mirrored that. So thank you. All right, Omega. Let's see. Same question. I think she's muted. Go ahead. Now hers is going out. What is going on with StreamYard? Okay. You guys can't hear me. Okay, wait a minute then. Let's see what's going on. Have I
I
done
can hear you. I cannot hear Omega.
Okay,
I can
we
hear
can't
you,
hear
but we can't
her.
hear
Okay. Can you hear us, Omega? Okay, but we can't hear you.
Check your headphone, because we could hear you when you didn't have your headphone in.
Go out and come back in. This is the go out and come back in show. All right. All right, Jen, until
Well,
Omega.
we was trying to follow the rules of coming in with the headphones, okay? We're all rule followers.
Yeah, and it's not your fault. It's probably something I did somewhere along the line. I'll have to have a disciplinarian talk with the person that's in charge. That would be me. Okay, Jen.
No, it's, honestly, StreamYard and different laptops and cell phones are weird when hooked into StreamYard. You have to go into your settings and set. It's kind of convoluted. Yeah. So that's why I decided to. No offense, Willie, I love you and everything, but I ignored that one because I was like, I'm not hugging my headphones in because I knew what a pain it would be. So.
Well, actually, you've taught me something, and that's to not have people unless they've got all the stuff that's necessary to do podcasts. It's probably not even worth it. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's see if Omega's back. Okay. Can you say something? Let's see if we can hear you. I don't think.
Can she hear us?
Can you hear us? It kind of looks like no, she can't hear us.
No, she's not frozen.
Yeah.
No, I thought she was at first. Okay.
I wish I could be that still. I'm so fidgety.
No, right? Mute it, unmute it. All right, Jen, go ahead with the with your answer while we try to get that worked out with her.
Well, Tasha was so eloquent. I'm in a similar position because I am that larger than life personality too. You either love me or you hate me. And for me, I was telling somebody at work today, like I had to have my like I was about to send an email, then I just reached out to my boss and I was like, do you want me to send this response? Just because at this point in time, I know how bold I am. I knew, but I was like, wait, I had to take a step back, and I have to do that a lot because I know where I am, but just to be knowing the strong personality I am, knowing the strong leader that I am, like my husband and I will joke, we've known each other since we were in youth group, okay? And it was not love at first sight whatsoever. In fact, I used to say he was a wannabe thug. He used to say I was a bossy, and but that. So we ended up getting married. But hey, works out that way. And we just, I just know that I have to curtail my personality because, as Tasha said, I can't expect everybody to curtail their personality to me. I do have that expectation of meeting me in the middle, though. I will say that at times. Like if I'm working with you and we're one-on-one, I need you to meet me in the middle. It's compromise. It's every single relationship out there in the whole wide world. I'm willing to do it. I need you to do it too. But I know how bold I am, so I have to temper myself back. So
there you go. And I like that. I'm gonna touch on that probably towards the end of the show, if I remember. That's a big task in itself. All right, Kimberly. Same question.
Yeah, so I'm sort of on the opposite end, where I have a strong personality, but it's more just like I'm more like a big personality. But I've always been kind of a perfectionist and a people pleaser, and just really not always listening to my own inner voice all the time until like the past 10 years or so. And so my biggest struggle is that little voice in the back of my head sometimes that causes me to second guess myself, or the imposter syndrome, basically, and just kind of coming to tell me that I'm probably not good enough or smart enough to do the thing that I'm making a decision about, and just really powering through that and realizing that they wouldn't have entrusted me to do the thing if they didn't think I could do it. And so I've sort of had to do the opposite of finding a way to be bold and set boundaries and do what I need to do while still remaining kind and understanding in the process as well. And so that's kind of been the opposite struggle here for me.
Mm-hmm. Omega, we're gonna try you again.
Can y'all hear me?
Woo wee!
Okay.
God is good.
Yes, he is. Okay, I'm kind of like Kimberly on this one because I'm a recovering people pleaser, like all the way around. But running your own business, and even now, my 9-to-5 corporate job, I'm in leadership as an AVP. I just had to learn to just stand on what it is that I wanted to see happen, or what it is that I want to see work, because I used to always be like, what you think about this, or what should I do? But now it's like, no, what is it that you want to do? And then you stand on that. So, yeah, just being firm on what it is that I want to see all the way around.
Interesting point, and very, very appropriate for a lot of us that are recovering people pleasers. Mm-hmm. Be the change that you want to see. Mm-hmm. And that's what that is. All right, see, I already knew that it was not going to be one of those shows where we get through everything. So I'm gonna get to 3 more, guys, and then we're gonna bounce. And here it is. We're gonna get to some real meat and potato stuff now, because I feel like these are where this part of the show, or these parts, or these questions that will be asked, is what's going to help other people propel themselves out of whatever situation that they're in. So let me ask you guys this. Let's start with the northwest corner of the show. Tasha, what would your current self, if you had a conversation with your current self, with your 21-year-old self, how would that talk sound?
If my current self could talk to my 21-year-old self, I am also a recovering people pleaser. So I still have those self-doubts, but my current self would tell my 21-year-old self then would be listen to your voice, and you know more than what you think you do, and be confident and firm in that. At 21, I was very much a people pleaser, like real bad. I made a lot of decisions based on that. And I feel like in my later part of my life, I've played a lot of catch up because of that, which is kind of how I am now. I think I kind of went from like one extreme kind of to the other, and I'm kind of learning to get back in the middle. I think I became so the other way because I was a people pleaser. I feel like it was like real bad. I was like real bad as a people pleaser. And so I think I then hit a wall with life, and I was like, well, I'm not letting anybody run over me. I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. So then I went way left, and now I'm just trying to find a happy medium in life. But I would just tell my 21-year-old self like that I'm enough, that I can do it despite what it looks like, or how I grew up, or the resources that was given to me at that age. And then I would tell my 21-year-old self that it gets better. The older you get, the more wisdom you have. It gets better. And then the last thing I would tell my 21-year-old self is watch your circle. I would encourage my 21-year-old self to have been surrounded with the things that I surrounded myself now, the women and the people in my life. I would just monitor your circle. Mm-hmm. And make it be people that are either where you're trying to go or are already there that can bring you in.
As once said by the late MC Eric Sermon, he said, if you're home with 9 broke friends, you're bound to be the 10th one. Watch your circle. Don't let your circle watch you. All right, Kimberly, same question, dear. What would your current self say to your 21-year-old self, and how would that conversation sound like?
Yeah, so I think it's pretty similar to Tasha's, where I would just tell her to start setting boundaries and upping her standards much sooner. It's the same thing where I just feel like it delayed a lot of growth for myself and slowed me down in some ways. And I just think learning those lessons sooner would have just saved a lot of frustration and heartache, because I am also feel like I'm playing catch up. And I kind of have to remind myself that like I still have plenty of time, but it sometimes doesn't feel like it, because you all you can see is all this time that you quote unquote wasted. But it wasn't a waste. I mean, you learned, and that's what life is. But if I could go back, I would like, you know what, maybe learn this stuff a little bit faster.
Yeah.
To make it a little bit easier for you. So
and that actually could be a gift and a curse. Because I think that we shouldn't be too concerned about learning things too fast, but yet we don't want to learn things so slow to where it feels like we're in quicksand and having to catch up. If that makes any sense. Maybe that's where I am in my life.
Totally.
I'm not even a woman, and I'm not even being celebrated, but that's just my 2 cents on that part. All right. All right, Omega, same question. Your current self talking to your 21-year-old self, how would that sound?
It'll sound like this. Girl, be who you want to be. Go where you want to go. Do what you want to do. Be extra. It's okay to be extra. It don't matter what nobody else says. You do you and you be you. That's what I tell myself. Because back then, I've always had it in me, but I kind of held it in. But now I'm free. Like, I'm just free. I'm gonna do what I want to do. I'm gonna go where I want to go, and I'm gonna be who I want to be. Looking how I want to look.
Hey, that right there, that has so much power in it. I mean,
just got to make up your mind. Once you make up your mind, that's it.
Here comes the emotional part. that has so much power in it. And ladies and gentlemen that are out there around the world watching this, do not diminish the message that was said, because it may be coming from somebody that you may not think is up to saying that. And that is why we are celebrating Women's History Month, and it should be celebrated all year round, because there's too many people out there that will say, man, she what she do? She ain't talking about nothing. I'm telling you right now, and y'all know, Tasha and Omega, your pastor is watching. As a matter of fact, Pastor T is watching right now, and the words that she spoke on this past Sunday goes right in line with that. And for everybody out there that's hating on her, y'all can come see me. Okay, Jen, let's go. 21-year-old self talking to your current self.
Whatever setback is really a setup for something so much better than anyone can ever imagine. And I'm going to say, Omega, I freaking love what you said about wear what you want to wear, girl. Because that's something I admire about my husband. He will dress whatever he wants to. There are times I'm like, can you just please put on a collared shirt? Polo. I don't care. Collared shirt other than a t-shirt. But this kid will walk out of my house wearing like, we don't pay this much, but like $500 jeans if I were willing to pay that much. But we buy them on clearance. And like t-shirts that we get off of Amazon or Walmart, Like, can you please?
He's comfortable.
That's funny because,
but again, clearance, very big clearance.
That's funny because the pandemic has changed a lot of people's wardrobes.
Yes. It really has.
Oh my gosh. All All right.
I admire that because I'll still I'll still try to look nice and stuff, but
man, okay. You know what? I almost said some things that did not need to be said in terms of working from home, and Zoom meetings and all that other stuff, because that's why my camera is always off. All right. Continuing on. We got a few minutes left to go in the show. What is, Tasha? What is one thing in your life that you're most proud of?
I am most proud of the family that I have built with my husband.
He's watching too.
I'm most proud of that because it looks nothing like what I grew up with. But it is everything that I wanted to create and more. And so I could not ask for better children, a better husband. Like that's the thing I'm most proud of. I is the family my husband and I have created and the legacy that we're starting to build.
Shout out to the big little brother, Jonathan, the nephew, Lil Wit, and the niece, Lil Lady Wit. They are phenomenal kids, and I can't wait to see the pot that's at the end of their rainbow. All right, Kimberly, same question.
Okay, so my answer is similar. Motherhood. It's hard, and then when you pile on everything else, it's even harder. So I don't know. I just think like I grew this person inside of me, and I will continue to help her grow outside of me. And that's a lot of pressure, but it's also it's empowering just to think that like what I do can really make a difference in her life and really set an example, and it helps me and inspires me to do my best and be my best. And so when I see who she is and who she's becoming, I'm proud of her and I'm proud of myself in the process.
Yeah. I think I didn't really understand the value of how being a mother is to a woman until like really in the last, I don't know, 11, 12 years. And I often say this. Men may be the head, but women are the neck, and the neck essentially guides the head on where to go. Wherever the neck moves, the head moves. And that's tough. That's tough. And piling everything else on top of being a mother. Wow. I'm glad I was born a man. I can tell you that much right now. Omega.
I love being a mother and I love being a wife, but I would say my perseverance, because a lot of times you look at people's stories and you have little things to say, but until you actually put in that position and you're the one that has to go through it. So I think the perseverance for me, I'm very proud of myself for I've been these last few years, it's been a little rough, but I've gotten through it. And so now I'm very intentional about like things that I speak, the music I listen to, things that I watch, books that I read, because like I'm going somewhere. And so I'm like, if I could get through that, then I can get through anything that's coming along. So I would say perseverance.
You call it perseverance. We call it a shake back.
Yeah.
We call it a shake back. All right, Jen, come on with it.
So mine is a little bit several. We're not parents yet. We are trying. So, but that's something we both want really bad. So for me, my drive and my determination, my unyielding faith, not only in God, but in myself. And my appreciation for those people who saw things in me before I saw them in myself. because I wouldn't be doing what I've done. I wouldn't have covered what I've covered without my drive and other people seeing my drive and then their faith in me.
Let me say this. You said you have unyielding faith in God and in yourself. Guess what? You were created in the image and likeness of him.
Yep.
So your unyielding faith in him automatically comes with yourself.
Yep.
And does it always remain perfect? Well, no. Does it always remain faithful in that sense? No, because we get knocked down and guess what? We got to get back up. So that's great. That's great in itself. All right, ladies, 2 more. I'm gonna let y'all plug yourselves in terms of what you got going on business-wise, whatever, and then we're gonna roll out. So the next one is I need each of you guys, starting with the northwest corner. That's the Seattle, Washington part of the show because it's the northwest corner. Tasha, see, I told y'all I was a geography nerd. I just got all this useless information. Your personal HERstory. Give one significant life event that you've had to shake back from.
All right. When I saw this question, the Lord immediately showed it to me, but I am very private, but I am going to share as hard as it is. So the hardest thing that I had to shake back from, and I'm going to attempt to do it without crying, was in 2011. A lot of people don't know that I suffered a miscarriage. And it was very hard because I really went through it by myself. But I think that's because that's what God wanted me to do, to tap into him more. And it was hard because it's hard to grieve the loss of a child, and you're the only person in the world that has felt or know that there was life. No one else felt it but me. And so it just really put me in a place of learning how to just hear, one, be okay. I am not really a crier. I hold my emotions in a lot. And so I think I went through that so that that I could feel. I had a lot of nights crying in the tub by myself. But that would be the hardest thing I've had to shake back from, is grieving the loss of a child or having the memory of a child, but you're the only person that really knows what that's like. So every year around my due date, I remember that, but I kind of just celebrate that internally because I'm really the only person in the world that felt a life. So it's something that I carry with me every day, all the time. I have moments in my life now where I'm kind of like, it's 2024. I would have a 3-year-old, and what would life be like? It's hard sometimes, but because you're the only person that can imagine that. But I think the blessing in that is that I really learned how to just really rely on God to like bring me through that, because he's really the only person that could understand what I was feeling. Yeah, it just was a lot of time of just pressing in. And so that was probably the hardest thing that I've had to shake back from. But I think it's made me better now because I'm able to, should I encounter people that have experienced that, then I can just be of an encouragement, like there is life on the other side. And so for a lot of women, I know they try to have their rainbow baby, but for me, I didn't. My decision was that was God's way of confirming to me that, you know, my time to have more children is done, and for me to focus on the ones that I have. So that was the hardest thing. And that it is, when I say a lot of people don't know that, it is a can probably count on 2 hands how many people know that, but now everyone knows.
Well, and thank you for that. Thank you for the authenticity and the candidness, because frankly, maybe not to that level. That's the whole reason why this particular group was created, for stories. And what you have just done, you may not see it in your own personal lifetime. You may not even run into this particular person or people, but just know that somebody out there is going to get a hold of that, and they're going to shake back just like you did. I'm hearing myself twice. I need all y'all to mute real quick. That oh my God. And it's those things that we keep hidden in a quiet place, that it's not supposed to be there. It's not supposed to be there. And y'all, let me tell y'all this about Tasha. I asked Tasha about this a couple of Sundays ago, or whenever it was. The first thing out of her mouth was, this is outside of who I am. And I said, yeah, I know, but you're needed. You're needed. Your life is the life that brings life to life. Kimberly, one personal shake back story that you've had to let me rephrase it, because it's one personal HERstory, one significant life event that you've had to shake back from.
Yeah, so I shared one the last time I was on here. It made you cry. So I'm gonna pick more of it's not really one. It's not a specific event. It's more of a specific thing. But it was it's body dysmorphia and disordered eating. So I used to be in incredible shape, at least by looking at me. But I was also counting calories, like my life depended on it, working out 10 plus hours a week. And I still thought I needed to lose weight. And I look back on photos of myself from that time, and I just think, wow, I wish I were that fat now. Because I didn't appreciate how I looked, and the fact that it was still not enough for me at the time. And it was really hard after pregnancy, and I had postpartum depression and postpartum anxiety, and I wound up gaining a lot of weight during that time, and it just became harder to lose it. And so I had a bit of a funk there, and I was just like, you know what? I'm tired of thinking about food. I'm tired of thinking about my body. It's getting exhausting. And so I started to look into and practice intuitive eating and something called body neutrality in recent years. And, I'm sure everyone's heard of the whole body positivity movement thing. But my issue with that was instead of feeling great when I loved my body, I felt guilty when I didn't love my body. And so it was still not helping. And it's normal to have those days where you're just like, ugh, no mirrors today. Thank you. And that's fine, because it'd be weird if you loved yourself all the time, honestly. And now on the other side of things, I am more confident myself now, 40 pounds heavier than I ever was when I was bordering on underweight. And I still work out. I still eat, quote unquote healthy. I try not to assign like morality to food. I like good food versus bad food. It's just food. And I just eat what I feel like eating, and I listen to my body lab work, as far as lab work is concerned, other than a severe vitamin D deficiency, I'm healthy. So at the end of the day, I just learned that health is more than just physical. It's mental, it's emotional. And I've managed to come to all three of those things by pushing through that and really just learning how to love myself and all the forms that I'm going to take in life. You've got the maiden and the mother and the crone, you know, and that's just kind of how women grow, and just embracing that about myself, that I'm not meant to look a certain way forever. And I think it'd be a lot easier if everybody just accepted that about themselves, that our bodies are going to be ever changing, and appreciating them for keeping us alive.
Yeah, and here's the thing with that, in my humble opinion. There's too many negative influencers out there. There's too many negative influencers out there that are telling, or that are trying to tell us what we're not.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if we have more courageous people, courageous ladies, courageous moms, courageous business leaders, courageous business owners, courageous pastors that are of the female persuasion, that will unlock themselves to share these things, then guess what? Getting through it is getting through it mentally. That's why you guys are here. That's why you guys are here. Omega, you're in the southwest corner of the show. That will put you in Phoenix, Arizona. One significant personal HERstory event that you've had to shake back from.
I would say I used to go, I went a lot of years saying I didn't have a story, like a story or a testimony like most other people. But once I turned 40, it was just things were just coming. They were just happening. And so now I can say I do have a story. In April of 2022, I got laid off of my job of 11 years. And the reason was just unbelievable. But I was out of work for about 18 months. And I just took some time to just focus on me. Like I got into crafting and making jewelry and just doing things that I like to do. But today, I mean, you know, I've got another job, really nice job, nice set, like, because it was a struggle. It was a struggle not knowing how you're going to pay your bills, how you're going to feed your family. But, you know, I got through it. And today things look much better, and I'm only going higher.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. And the jury all is on point. And she's going to give that information out here towards the end of the show. All right, Jen, let's have it. I need a personal HERstory. One significant life event that you've had to shake back from.
Who here remembers 2007 and the mortgage industry collapse?
Oh my gosh.
And all the wrongful foreclosures that occurred. I was one of those wrongful foreclosures. I refused to sign anything. I sued my financial company lender individually. I did not join anything else or big lawsuit. And it was hard. It was really hard. Because I felt like I had failed everybody, including myself. But if you literally looked at my documents, you would see where this financial institution would put down my mortgage payment that I would make every month and then take it away, causing late payments.
Wow.
Really? Big wow. And I won. When I sued them individually, I won. And it was during one of those times I was laying on the couch in my house that was at that point foreclosed on. And we had just moved back from New Mexico. And my remote control actually got stuck on Joel Osteen. And that's when he was preaching about whatever setback is actually set up for something so much more beautiful. And Tasha, you made me tear up with your story. So thank you. And I want to hug you. So virtual hug. But during that time, not only was that happening, my husband lost his job. I had lost my job. Then my husband had to be rushed to the ER with a blood sugar level. And if you guys don't know, this really does happen. It does. Of 1378.
Wait, what?
Yeah. 1378. Your normal blood sugar is supposed to be about 130. 170 is high. But yeah. And I don't know if y'all just saw my door open, but he's still around. P.S. Duke just lost to NC State, and sports betting just started in North Carolina, and my husband just won $500 on that. So
loan me $5.
Right? Hey, I gotta ask if I can borrow $5 first.
Right.
But during all that time, honestly, the blessing was like Kimberly, like we were able to go get a discounted membership at the Y and start really focusing on our health and everything else again. And then we moved into a 4-story house. No, it was just a rental unit. I wasn't ready to buy a house yet. Then we moved uptown. And I loved living uptown. I'm mad at my husband because he made me leave uptown. We just bought a house here in the suburbs. I want to go back to uptown because I like it. I'm an uptown baby. But like that's why I live by whatever setback is set up for something so much better. And so it's just, I won. I beat a huge top 10 company. I won. So
David slays Goliath.
Yep. But that's when I started getting a little shy. I had never been shy before that. So now I have to overcome that still when I'm like interviewing people.
Right. And you do a tremendous job with that as well. We actually have to have a meeting soon.
Yes,
Jenny.
we do.
But let me say this on the heels of what you just said. First of all, y'all, she said a 4-story house. Did y'all?
I meant a 4-bedroom house. I'm sorry. Not a 4-story. Okay. I didn't mean 4-story. I apologize.
Okay.
I apologize.
Because
I was about 2-story. But then my husband talked me into moving from that into a 1-bedroom apartment in uptown Charlotte.
Yeah, because if it was 4 stories, I was about to start going through my mail and just looking for people to sue.
Right.
Straight up.
It wasn't that big of a settlement.
Yeah. But yeah, that exactly is correct. I mean, and I'm reminded of this story or a picture that I saw where this little girl had a small teddy bear in her hand, and she loved it, and she was standing in front of Jesus, and Jesus was on one knee, and he had this big old teddy bear behind him, and the little girl was talking about how much she loved it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And Jesus was just, trust me. So she put the smaller bear down and was pouting and stuff, and then out comes this big bear. That's what happened with you and your husband. Y'all got the big bear. All right, we're going to stay with you, Jenna. This is the last part of the show. One encouraging word for the panel and the world. One encouraging word.
Who's starting? Me?
Yep.
Belief in yourself and belief in others.
That's pretty solid. Tasha?
I'm going to use the word manifest. Every single thing that God has shown you is going to manifest.
Manifest. That means you should be shouting now. As Pastor Norris, my man, Pastor NQ, as he says, if you knew where I was going, you'd be shouting now. And we should be shouting now because God already said it. The shouting is in when he told us, not at the manifestation. All right, Kimmy.
All right. One word. I'm just going to say kindness. And I think sometimes people think about that and mean you're going to push over But I think you can be kind and say no. I think you can be kind and put yourself first. It doesn't automatically, you don't have to pick one or the other. You can do both. And I just think if we can approach things from that perspective of being kind, but doing what you need to do, I think it's a good balance.
Yeah, balance is good. Balance is good. Omega, finish us off.
I was going to say believe, but Jen took believe. I was going to say speak it, and Tasha said manifest it. So I'm going to say enough. You are enough, and you have enough. You have everything you need to do everything you need to do. It's just simple as that.
Wow. And look, I didn't say this in the beginning of the show, and now I'm kicking myself because I didn't really introduce y'all the way that I was supposed to. But when Omega sings that song More Than Enough at church, you have sung that before. Yeah, you've sung that before, right?
No, I haven't.
No. Wait a minute. Okay, guess what? Manifest. Pastor Nero, manifest. Put Omega on the mic by herself. But that song right there, I mean, I would encourage you guys to go out there and download it, or at least look it up on YouTube. Put it out there, put it to the settings where you can actually see the lyrics, because everything that she said will hit you right where it needs to hit you. Okay, shameless plug portion of the show. I need you to plug whatever it is that you're doing out there, whether it's entrepreneurial, whether it's spiritual, whether it's whatever it is. Northwest corner of the state, or of the show. Seattle, Washington. LaTasha Whitaker, check in. What you got?
So I am going to pull a plug out there again. I wasn't going to say it, but my husband and I are currently working on launching a travel agency business. So be on the lookout for it.
Wait a minute. What? How can you keep something like that under wraps? Oh my gosh. Get off the show. You gone. Bye. All right. Kim, what you got?
I'm just going to go back to the beginning and say, if you want to listen to a jazz album or jazz adjacent genre, you can stream my album called The Other Me by Kim Knight. My face is on it, so you can't miss it. There's like 2 other people also named Kim Knight on the streaming services, but you'll see my face. And yeah, if you just want to chill to that, go for it.
And it is worth it, y'all. I'm telling you right now. I listened to it a couple times after she told me that she had that, after she told me the first time. And as I said, my mind ain't what it once was, so I had to go and listen to it. And she ain't lying. And I vouch for that 1,000,000%. All right.
Thank you.
Jen and Juice. No, I'm just joking. Jen, go ahead.
Ironically, that's a great workout song for the elliptical. I'm just saying.
Oh,
you on the
okay.
elliptical, play a little Snoop, Gin and Juice. Just saying.
All right.
So I probably not supposed to announce this yet, but I'm going to anyway.
Exclusive.
So right now we have 2 shows, 3 Chicks in a Pod and Chicks in Salsa. And we kind of rotate which Tuesday we're going to do which one, right? But we are going to start doing more 3 Chicks in a Pod. And we're also, because we're going to be doing an investigative type thing, like we did a 5-part series on Title IX. We've done things on Michigan. So we're going to be doing like our own investigative show. We're going to do some of it live. Some of it will be pre-records. We just upload, but we welcome any and all comments. We also welcome everything else, any topic ideas. Then what's also really exciting is we have, obviously Tuesday nights will end up just being Chicks and Salsa. And that's with like all 4 of us. And we're looking to add more people too. I think I met somebody at Super Bowl who's going to join us.
That part.
And so check us out on Tuesday nights. We're live, 3 Chicks in a Pod, Chicks and Salsa. Hit us up on Facebook or X. But that's
no. We don't say X. We don't say
okay,
X.
thank you, because I really hate that.
We don't say X.
It sounds weird. And he's just trying to spell SEXY again. And like if you look at his models, that's what he's done with the Tesla. But yeah, check us out on Twitter, YouTube, all of that good stuff. We're pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Like others have tried to emulate us and they cannot succeed, including a certain 4-letter network. That made me happy.
Yeah, and they have a lot of fun on there. And you don't necessarily have to be a diehard sports fan to get entertained, because they will entertain you.
Just by it's one of you carry, isn't it?
Yeah, they will entertain you for sure. All right, Mega, round us out.
All righty. Well, I am still making jewelry, handmade beaded bracelets. I really basically only do them by orders or requests right now because I'm focusing more on other things. So I do have my Girl Talk tour that's launching. My first one will be in May. And we have a couple of cities that we're going to, but we're starting here in Dallas. And it's just a time for women just to get together, get cute, just come relax, breathe, and just have good, encouraging girl talk. So that's what I got coming up.
Okay, so what I'm going to need from you is when you start getting more information about that, details, I need that, because it's going to get talked about on any one of these 7 shows that I do.
Got it.
If not all, well, at least 6 of them for sure. And anybody else, that goes for you guys too. Whatever you want plugged, we believe in building up small businesses because we are a small business that need to be built up. And that is just what that is. Let me leave everybody with the word of encouragement. Not just for the panel, not just for myself, but of course for everybody watching. As I said earlier, for the millions and millions of Rocks fans, let me say this. You guys keep being who you are. Keep being what you are. Keep doing what you do. Because it's like I said, it is your life that is going to bring life to life. You're needed, you're valued, you're wanted, and most importantly, you are God's. And whatever he has for you is for you. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to get up out of here. I got to give you guys the old I have to give you guys the old hand clap because you were phenomenal. Again, thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedules to do this. For everybody that's watching worldwide, we thank you. We hope that you were encouraged. Again, go out there to the Shakeback Media Group on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, as well as YouTube. Please follow us, like us, and subscribe. Smash the bell for all brand new content. So, with that being said,
can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Just real quick for Jen, when you were talking about, you all wanting to have a baby, you spoke it. You said believe, and that's all you have to do is believe. You have the faith. You have the faith in yourself. You have the faith in God. So now it's up to you to just really believe that it's going to happen, and get you a journal and start journaling, like declaring and decreeing over your baby already. The name of the baby, the sex of the baby. My baby will be strong in the land. My baby will be born. Start speaking it, because you believe. If you already said believe, all you got to do is believe it. It is well. It is well.
Right before this show, my husband and my father-in-law were discussing baby names. And I just stared at them and I said, y'all know I have a choice in this, and you're both out of order. I was like, this is our kid's name.
That's it. It's well.
You're right. Well. And you're going to love this, Omega, because I had like 5 people give me journals for my birthday this past summer.
See?
All you got to do. You already ready.
It's already done.
Just wanted to share that. I'm sorry, Willie.
Thank you. No, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate you speaking faith into me and this. So thank you.
As a matter of fact, I'm glad you did that, because I forgot to do this. Social media comments. AI White. Amazing, 100, 100. Jeremy, hello all. Hello, Jeremy.
I love Jeremy. Cool.
McCain, good people. Obviously, he's talking about y'all and not me. Mike Patton,
you too.
What's good, y'all? I know somebody might know this guy right here. I just needed to look up at the screen. You know that guy?
I love y'all's relationship. I love how supportive he is of you, Tasha.
Thank you. Yes, that's my boo thing.
That's leadership, big bro. There she is, Pastor T. Thank you, Lord, for all things new. And the claret, Tasha. So good, Kimberly. We learned by what we learned. Good job, Omega. Leneric Morgan, you might know him, huh? Do your thing, babe. Tanya McGill, she laughs at when I said I was going to go through my mail and start suing everybody. Jonathan Whitaker says facts. Great word from Jen. We spoke about those things from the beginning, babe. Tasha, that's Jonathan talking to you about what you said about the family dynamic.
Yes.
We don't want a crook in the neck. And that is so true. And he said it again, so he must really mean it. And then AI White says, no crooks. And then Jonathan says, big step, babe. I'm proud of you. Oh, that's great. That's what we want. That right there is the accomplishment of the goal. Tanya McGill says, love what you're doing, Willie. As an advocate of and champion for women, I want to thank you for using your platform to tell her story. We appreciate you. That warms my heart right there in itself. And look, you're not going to make me cry. Very needed session tonight, says Tanya McGill. AI White, heart. I don't know what that emoji is. And then another heart. What does that mean, y'all? Can y'all see that? Eyes watered or something? I don't know. That part.
I think it's like, ah.
Oh, okay. You persevered, Omega. The jewelry is the bomb. Hey! And then Lanier comes with the hearts and the praying hand. Tanya McGill, again, she laughs. That's when I said Pastor Nero needs to put Omega on the stage and sing You're More Than Enough. Great job, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, ladies. This was amazing to listen to. Awesome job. And good stuff, ladies. And then finally, go ahead, Omega. So that's our final thought. Or as Pastor McGill say, my second close. It's time for us to go, man. Y'all make sure y'all take care of each other. Y'all love each other. Y'all hug each other. I promise it's going to be all right. Willie Epting Jr. for Jen, for Kimberly, for Tasha, for Omega. Man, we about to get out of here. Y'all hold it down. We'll help y'all get real soon. Peace. We out.
Thank you for the honor.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
That's right. It's ladies' night. Okay, it's time to go.
Thank you again for having me on, Willie. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you for taking the time out to do it.
Of course.
Peace. We out.